Cheekyricho's gluten-free picnic quiches. Hi and welcome to Cheekyricho's ham and leek picnic quiches. We're going to be making these little quiches in a muffin pan. And the reason we're doing that is we won't be using any flour for this recipe. We're using some baking paper. So what I want you to do is get some baking paper and just cut it into squares. That's so big. Scrunch it all up. That's breaking the back of the paper. And then when you open it up, it's going to be very easy to manage. And just press it into our muffin pan, and you will see that it holds its shape quite well. Once the filling goes in there, it will hold it down and they will be transported like that in the paper. So just continue with the rest. This is a perfect idea for school lunches or just to serve out on the balcony because they come with their own little wrappers. You don't have to make pastry for this recipe. Just scrunch it all up, open it out and pop it into our muffin pan. And there you have our little muffin pans all in line with their little paper patties. Now we just get our leek, trim it off, cut it down the centre. This is a very clean leek, but we're going to wash it, and this is how you do it. Make sure there's no grit because the grit will go down from the centre to the base where the roots are and be trapped in these layers. So we are going to wash it, but as you can see it's really quite a clean leek. Slice our leek using a sharp knife just into little half moons. Okay, over a medium-low heat, we're going to add our butter. Just a tiny bit of butter because there's plenty of cream and cheese in this recipe. Once that starts to melt, we're going to add our leeks and just sweat those off with our ham, which will get a little bit of fat comes out of our ham trimmings. These are actually the ham trimmings off our ham bone that we had at Christmas time. Nothing's wasted in the Cheeky kitchen. So there's a good stir around until they start to sweat down and get a little translucent. You'll also get a little colour on the ham as well. Now we're just going to slice our cherry tomatoes in half, and I am leaving the stem on them. Only half of the stem will appear because you can't adequately cut these stems in half. And we're going to pop half a cherry tomato in the top of each little mini quiche. Just cut those in half. They've been washed. You can put just about anything you like in these little quiches. You can put spinach, different sorts of cheeses. Those to one side. Been out to the garden and got some fresh parsley, so just roll that into as tight a ball as you can, and then we're just going to coarsely slice that. Don't get too serious with that because we want a bit of crunch from the stems as well. Okay, the heat has taken the rawness away from those leeks, given a little bit of colour to the pan, which will also add the flavour. We're going to turn the heat off now and give it a good sprinkle of some freshly cracked pepper, some sea salt flakes. Don't go too crazy boy with that because the ham has got plenty of salt in it. Now it's in with our cream. That will cool that pan down so that when we add our eggs, they don't scramble. Okay, that's nicely mixed in. Now we're going to send in our eggs. You could beat them beforehand if you like, but I don't really care about that. We're just going to whisk it in with a whisk now and get it well combined. That's in with our parsley. Give that a good stir around. Make sure it's well combined. And that is it. They'll be rich, tasty, filling, very easy to transport, great with a crusty bread roll and some crisp garden salad. Now we just mix a little of our cheese in, leave the balance to top our little mini quiches with to stop the top of it from burning, because if the parsley pieces are poking out of the top, they're going to end up looking like compost or grass clippings, so cheese will protect them. Now to just fill up our little paper cases, just pour it into a jug. It'll be a lot easier to manage that way. Give it a periodic stir while you are filling the papers so that the filling gets mixed all the way through, and just push a spoon in to hold them down flat. And fill them up. A little stir to make sure that filling's all mixed through. And just for a little added interest, we're going to cut up some little pieces of sweet potato that have been just steamed. They're cold. And just pop those in there as well. So you've got the sweetness of the leek, the sweet potato and the ham. And that'll just give it a nice flavour. And just finish filling those up. You don't have to add the sweet potato. You could add pumpkin. You could add pieces of sausages if you like. Now we just pop a sprinkle of cheese on each one and a half a cherry tomato. It will sink, don't worry about that, but it will caramelise on top. It doesn't have to be too neat and tidy because it's a picnic. Okay, now optional, I'm just going to put a little sprinkle of some smoky paprika on the top just for colour, and it adds a nice flavour. And into the oven, 180 degrees, about 20 minutes until they are just set. After 20 minutes, our little mini quiches are hot from the oven. Just going to poke a knife into the centre of it to make sure there is no raw egg in there, and they'll just pop out quite easily, just like so. Just leave them in the container to cool before we pack them for our picnic. Our little mini quiches just pull apart quite easily from the paper. They don't stick at all, and that's what you should have. Just cut that in half. Now you can wrap these up and pack them in a school lunchbox. Just pop a rubber band around them to keep them neat, and they transport really, really well. And then to serve, you've got a ready-made plate. You just open it out to cut through. There you have it, Cheekyricho's mini picnic quiches.
So it's a really pretty spot to be sitting there and having your lunch.